today's training session. We are talking about how to increase your confidence so you can do more amazing things with your life. And we are talking about 3 different points. And those points are how confidence impacts your ability to get things done, the role self-confidence plays in your partnership, and 5 ways to improve your confidence so you can do more courageous things. If you are new here, I am Kiri Honey. I am a relationship coach for moms, and I help you to have a stronger partnership than you did before the kids. All right, let's get stuck into it. So, how does confidence impact your ability to get things done? And apologies, I am looking at my notes because I have taken a lot of them. So it's going to be a good session today. All right, let's get stuck in. Basically, if you think you can't, you're right. Have you ever heard that before? So we need to think more positively. And when we start to think, actually, maybe I can do that, our chances of actually being able to do it go way, way up. If you think very little of yourself, your choices will reflect that. They will be poor choices and will reflect a poor performance. And who really wants that, right? So having confidence in what you're capable of will have you making better choices, decisions, and therefore a better overall outcome, right? So how are you interpreting a situation, and what control do you have over it? That will affect your confidence. And you know that you do have more control than you might think. Now, what does this have to do with your partnership? Well, self-confidence plays a massive role in your partnership because when you feel bad about yourself, your insecurities reflect on your partner. It will affect the way you interact with each other. It will affect the way you communicate with each other. You might, if you have low self-esteem, you might always feel blamed. You might feel that you are always the one that is doing wrong. And you might not feel terribly connected to your partner. So, another way is you might struggle with body image, for example. You might feel uncomfortable in your own skin. You might feel uncomfortable being naked. You might not believe your partner when they tell you that they love your body, because you're like, how can you love my body? I hate my body, right? So if you're in that negative space, you're probably not gonna want to get as freaky as you might if you loved yourself, okay? So that can have a huge impact on the intimacy in your relationship, and neither of you might feel like your needs are being met. So what can we do about it? This is where we will dive into the 5 ways to improve your confidence so you can do more courageous things. Okay, so the first one, are you listening? The first one is to develop your awareness. I talk about this a lot inside my community, inside my programs, because the more we are aware of how we've been doing things, how we want to be doing things, it affects everything. So change basically doesn't happen until awareness is created. Because how can we know that we want things to be different if we don't know that we want things to be different? So if you want to be more confident, Start by exploring where you lack confidence. Spend some time identifying the triggers and specific times where you feel like you lack confidence or have low self-esteem. Because as you increase your awareness about that, you'll be able to use tools and help implement different strategies to help build your confidence up in those areas as you become aware of them. So if you know that you are not confident in the bedroom, maybe that is a place that you can start to explore and use some tools on how you can improve your confidence in the bedroom. And it really all does start with being aware of what's impacted you in the past and how can we change things for the future. Number 2, give yourself credit for what you have done. Chances are, if you haven't lived under a rock your whole life, that you have achieved some pretty awesome things. Whether it be big things or little things, maybe it's the fact that you have given birth. That is not a small feat and should definitely be celebrated. So, in order to do this, take a deep breath. Reflect, journal, make a mental note of things that you have done, that you have achieved. Think of times where you have stepped up to do something hard. Think of something that you've done that was outside of your comfort zone. Whether you failed or not is completely irrelevant. The fact is that you tried, and that is really the most important thing. Because if you failed at something, it means you can learn to do it better. And it's in these failures that really all the juiciness is in our failures. So I want you to stop and take note of all the things that you have achieved. Give yourself credit and recognize your efforts. And again, write them down if you think that would help. You could always put them on a Post-it and display them as a reminder that you, my friend, are awesome. Okay. Number 3, improve your positive self-talk and your self-care. So your subconscious is always listening to how you treat yourself. So if you are constantly saying, I suck at this, oh, I can't do that, oh, no, there's no way I could do that. Whether you say it out loud or simply in your head, your subconscious is listening and will generally agree with whatever you think, okay? So try to make it a daily practice to speak to yourself with love and grace. I encourage you to surround yourself with more positivity as much as possible. I would also avoid the news because really there's nothing but negativity on there. Because life is hard, right? We don't need to make it any harder by being our enemy, our bully, all that kind of stuff. So be positive. Acknowledge that you are human, that nobody is perfect, and give yourself some grace. And on the self-care note there, take some time every single day to rejuvenate yourself. You need time to recharge because you can't be your best self for anybody else if you are an empty battery. All right? So take time to look after yourself. When you look after yourself, that will also improve your confidence and your ability to approach challenging situations with your best self. Number 4, stop the scroll and comparison game and simply get things done. So for the sake of self-love, stop comparing yourself to others, Okay? There is enough of what you want. There is enough money. There is enough love. There is enough to go around. Okay? If you keep scrolling through social media, looking at everyone else's success, you'll never feel good enough. Right? It will be impossible to get yourself out of your head. You'll be like, why can't I achieve all of this stuff? Well, the reason is because you are scrolling. Okay, so stop the scroll. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. Think about what you want to achieve and how you can achieve it, and take small, actionable steps. Set a goal, take action, get things done. Set a timer so you can achieve some small bits of success towards your goals, and just do it. All right? And the last thing that I'm going to share with you today is step outside your comfort zone, think less, and do more. So, how many times do we get stuck inside our heads and we just don't do it? I know that this is like Nike's brand, and I don't really like supporting Nike, but just do it is a very good slogan. So how do we just do it? How do we get out of our heads? So you use Mel Robbins' strategy, the 5-second rule, and you can download her book on Audible or borrow it from the library, but I suggest reading it. And basically the gist of it is it takes our brains 5 seconds to talk ourselves out of doing something. So with Mel Robbins' 5-second rule, you literally count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you just do it. You stop thinking, you take action, you do the thing that you want to do, and you worry about the other stuff later. Okay? So the more you practice this, the easier it becomes and the more confident you will feel. So that, my friends, was our 5 ways to improve your confidence so you can do more courageous things. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to catching up with you again next week. Take care to your relationship success. Bye-bye.